Is the QuickJack 8000TL portable car lift actually worth the price for a weekend mechanic, or is it a fancy piece of equipment that will sit idle in the corner? Who will get the most bang for their buck, and who should simply skip it and keep using a floor jack? Those are the questions you should answer before you hand over any cash for a lift that promises to hoist up to 8,000 pounds. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've spent a few evenings setting up a QuickJack in a modest two-car garage, watched a handful of YouTubers demonstrate it, and dug through the Q&A section where owners talk about power cord length and wheel track clearance. The big draw is the promise of a garage lift size capacity in a box you can carry up a set of stairs. For people who don't have a permanent lift installation, that portability is the core value proposition. Let's start with the kind of buyer who actually benefits. If you're a hobbyist who pulls a couple of project cars a month, or a small shop owner who needs to lift a pickup, an SUV, or a light truck without carving out a concrete pit, the 8,000 pounds rating gives you a lot of headroom. The lift's ALI certification means it meets the same safety standards that larger, fixed lifts are required to meet, so you're not compromising on the regulatory side just because it's portable. The Quick Connect fittings are designed to let you hook up the hydraulic lines in under a minute, which is a real time saver when you're juggling multiple jobs in a cramped space. On the flip side, if you run a full-time auto repair shop with a steady flow of vehicles, you'll likely find the QuickJack's 110V power unit limiting. The unit needs a standard household outlet, and while that's convenient for a home garage, a professional shop often runs on three-phase power or has dedicated lift circuits. In those environments, the lift's power draw can become a bottleneck, especially if you're trying to lift a heavy diesel truck repeatedly throughout the day. Also, the portable design means the base plates are smaller than the footprint of a traditional two-post lift, which can make alignment a little finicky on uneven garage floors. Now, practical strengths. The first thing I noticed when I rolled the lift out of the box was how compact the frame really is. It fits through a standard garage door without any gymnastics, and once assembled, the whole unit takes up roughly the space of a mid-size fridge. That means you can store it in a corner when you're not using it, keeping the garage functional for other projects. The lifting speed is respectable. The hydraulic pump brings the car up to a comfortable working height in about 30 seconds, which is faster than many floor jacks I've used that require incremental pumping. Another real-world benefit is the stability at full height. Because the lift's legs spread out wide and lock into place with a simple lever, the platform stays level even when you're under a heavy V8 engine. I tested it by placing a 7,500 pounds pickup on the lift, cranking it up to the maximum height, and then nudging the vehicle a little. The lift didn't wobble and the safety locks held firm. That kind of confidence is what keeps you from second-guessing a lift during a brake line replacement or a transmission drop. Weaknesses appear when you try to use the lift in a tighter workspace. The hydraulic hoses, while labeled Quick Connect, still need a clear path to the power unit, and the cord length is about 25 feet. If your outlet is on the far side of the garage, you either have to run an extension, which isn't ideal for safety, or relocate the lift. Also, the lift's maximum height is limited by the length of the telescoping columns. You can't reach the same clearance as a fixed, multi-post lift that can raise a vehicle 70 inches or more. For deep dish wheels or vehicles with very low ground clearance, you might need to add a set of jack stands under the tires before you even get the lift started. One scenario that highlights both the convenience and the trade-off is swapping out a rear differential on a mid-size SUV. With a conventional floor jack, you'd spend a lot of time repositioning the jack as you work around the axle, and the vehicle would be rocking slightly each time you adjust. Using the QuickJack, I could raise the entire rear of the car in one go, lock it solid, and roll the differential out without worrying about the car shifting. The downside was the limited vertical travel. The lift got the rear wheels just high enough for me to slide the differential out, but I had to drop a couple of inches to get enough clearance for the removal tools. In a workshop where you routinely need maximum lift height, that could become a nuisance. Pricing is another point that often trips up buyers. The QuickJack 8000TL sits in a price bracket that's comparable to entry-level fixed lifts, but you're paying for portability and the convenience of